You ain't seen this from me.
Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
And we're back. International break or not, the show must go on. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Do me a favor, smash the like button. Big up you lot, whether you're long-term supporters or you're new here. Smash the like button, subscribe, get the creative juices flowing. Big up you lot on Twitch. Big up views for the raid. Now, how you lot doing, man? Before we go over what's there to go over concerning Arsenal, how you lot doing, man? It's almost a philosophical Thursday for myself. You know, we're in the 9th month of the year. 2025 has flown, people, to the point where you lot won't see, and you know, we're going to get onto it, but there's bad mind individuals. But, you know, I'm a big fan of, like, building case studies around yourself. And I feel when I've sat here and I've, like, every time I've done something this year or hit some sort of landmark or made some level of progress, I've got it written down here. And 2025, it's gone quick and it's been a good year so far for myself. But yeah, man, I'm in a bit of a philosophical mood, and the theme is ungratefulness. Not even ungratefulness. Like, people are like, there's people that are crabs in a bucket and things. But have you ever sat there, yeah? And not that you're seeking anything in return, but you do something for someone, and it's like the more you do, the one time you say no or whatever, it goes the other way. Or I just find it a bit weird how people conduct themselves. And you know, when you come across bad mind individuals, people, I always say bad mind doesn't get you anywhere. Evil eye, red eye, whatever you want to refer to it as. Yeah, for us that are blessed by the Lord and the man above, you can't conspire against the guys, against this wavy guy. No matter how much people you try to turn, no matter how much evil things you do, it's not gonna bang. It's not gonna bang. Like, it's not. We're too wavy for that. But yeah, man, is what it is. Jesus injured again. Time to sell up. What do you mean injured again? What do you mean injured again? He's picked up another injury. He's not been named in the Champions League squad, which probably tells you his level of fitness. There's been some rumors that say he's back in December/January. That obviously correlates. There's some that have said he's back in October. Obviously, a few weeks ago, we would have seen Gabriel Jesus. He's at least running again. Now, running is very different from being able to make contact with a football and being able to participate in any sort of physical activity, people. He's got a groin injury. Where did you see that? But it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me in the same way we've had to wrap Magalhaes and Cotton Wool, be a bit cute and clever with potentially a Benjamin White and a Timber, keeping a fine eye on maybe Norgard, but I would say Declan Rice, maybe even Martinelli, Kai Havertz coming back from a long-term injury. When you're out for a long time, unfortunately, you do suffer setbacks, or, you know, you might have an ACL. You do pick up groin knocks, and this happens and that happens en route to recovery. So I'm not necessarily vexed around that with Gabriel Jesus, if I'm honest. Unfortunately, with Jesus and him, it's injuries. At least for a year, you know, at the earliest, in an ideal world, he's sold in the summer, in it, or recently, but that's not going to happen. In an ideal world, he goes next summer, for some of you in January. If that's not the case, I might not be the biggest fan anymore, or believe that there's a long-term future for Gabriel Jesus, for Martinelli, for Trossard. Some of you would throw Kai Havertz in there. You have to box cleverly, and there's 38 Premier League games, 50 plus when you consider all the comps. There's scope for it, pardon me. And just one time, I want to see Saka on the right, Gyökeres through the middle, Eze in the 10, maybe even Eze and Odegaard in midfield, but Gyökeres up front, Saka on the right, Eze in the 10, Gabriel Jesus off the left. Just show me that for one game. I just want to see it for one game. I just want to see it for one game, man. Saw it on a Twitter account, can't remember which Arsenal account. So let me go on Twitter right now and see if I can find that, man. Love for that, Jordan, man. Let's see if there's any credibility around that. Let me type in. Should I just type in Gabriel Jesus groin? See what happens. And big up you lot, because this is the second live stream from myself today, people. Obviously, big up Cecil and big up everyone that was there. Go and watch that on the replay. Now, I can't see anything online about Gabriel Jesus. Maybe it's some ITK that I don't follow. But yeah, I can't see anything. This Ribena is nice, man. Nah, I can't see anything. I can't see anything in relation to Jesus, man. Check Eduardo Hang. Is he 30 though? Because I see a lot of people, people always calling this done online. But for you, I'll have a butchers, man. Has he blocked me or something? Oh no. Let me see. Maybe it's reports from Brazil initially. I can't lie, I can't see anything, bro. I'm scrolling down on his Twitter account. Nah, I can't see anything, my boy. So we'll park that one there, man. Man called him a Twitter merchant. Damn. Time for the Tomiyasu approach. I hear it, and to be honest with you, Gabriel Jesus has to be sold, but I hear it, and obviously everything's costly. And as an Arsenal fan, especially with Berta, we want to get into the scenario where we're known as good sellers, we're selling players and things like that. End of the day, it's not my money. We're at with Gabriel Jesus. My hot take, Arsenal will look to use him for a year and move him on. Ripping up his contract is kind of different from Tomiyasu's in that it's expensive, but look how much Gabriel Jesus costs. Like, look how much he costs. But then you weigh up the cost. He's contracted until 2027, I believe. So, yeah, you never know what form and being fit could do. But it feels like Gabriel Jesus, this has been coming a long time, and they probably look to move him on. But I hear it, man. And some of you are saying that. If you appreciate you, congrats on 7K. No, congrats, 70K. Congrats on you lot, man, because without you lot, it'd have been dead. But as much as I'm happy, that's like winning the Premier League. We celebrated. We now want to win the champs. That's 100K. That's that plaque there, etc., etc. That's getting us to where we need to go. Big up Lapfi and Gooner. I've seen you here before, and again, BG and the rest of you. So yeah, man. Should we see what's going on, people, in relation to checking? I'll check again and tell you. Appreciate that, my boy. Should we have a butchers again, folks, as to what has been going on online? Now, the first thing I want to say is, and this, I know some of you might say something silly, but if you could give Mikel Arteta one piece of advice, what would it be? Now, some of you would probably say leave. I would say put the handbrake down. I would say trust your players, because we have a great defensive ethos. Our actual defenders, pressing, tracking back. I think we're at that stage now where players have to have promoted to have a bit of common sense. You look at Paris Saint-Germain, very different, but they've got what we want. They've got great defensive structure, great team ethic, Luis Enrique, micromanaging and all of those kind of things, but there's still freedom. You still see their wingers track back, but you see them in devastating areas in the opponent's final third. You see them swapping. You see the midfield. Sometimes the six is the furthest up. I think we need that. I think we need movement. Like if Eze's out wide off the left, he wants to come inside, innit? So naturally, if you see Eze come inside, you might be Declan Rice, who's in midfield. I'm not saying do this on a consistent basis, but if you've seen Eze go inside of the field, could you just occupy his position for a moment and then you've got an overlap? I think we need to be a bit more street smart. So I would say that. I would say, Arteta, I need you to be unpredictable. Unpredictability, put the handbrake down, trust your players in the final third. Play Eze at this moment in time. Don't care how he gets on the field. Don't care if it's 10-8 left back. Just put the man on the field, didn't it? Really and truly, man. Like Els is saying here, one advice I would give Arteta is to play Eze from the beginning of the game. Be more progressive. Even that with Eze, I understand. Obviously, not forget what happened against Liverpool, but forget what happened against Liverpool. I don't agree with playing Murillo, even though I understood it. I didn't agree with it, but I understood it. I understand the rhetoric going into the Liverpool game in that. For me, Eze's had pre-season. He can play. It's not like Gyökeres. If Havertz was fit, I reckon, personally, Gyökeres only has one start for Arsenal Football Club. That would have been Leeds at home. But for me, it's a thing where Eze's had a pre-season just playing. But I understand, all right, you've got your own game plan. Odegaard's not fully fit. Eze getting up to speed with the system and that, even though, come on, man, just play the great players. You're thinking, all right, touch and go. Let's box cleverly against Liverpool. Bring off the weapons off the bench. I understand that. But for me, Eze's raring to go, bro. And he's got not that Gyökeres or any other signing hasn't, but Eze's got his dream move. He's had pre-season. We've all seen the comments where maybe it's a slight exaggeration from him, but not too far removed from the truth in that I treated every Arsenal game like a trial. So make that happen. And he's unpredictable. Of course, teams know what Eze's about, but we're quite predictable. Obviously, when you go and watch the Liverpool game again, yeah, we was in it for 45 minutes. Really and truly, we were in it. Like there was a time we're in their box a lot more. We're not asking any questions creative-wise, apart from long balls to Madueke, but we're doing okay. I think the 15 minutes, whatever was said at half-time between Liverpool and Arsenal, Arne Slot and his players and Mikel Arteta and his players made the difference, because you saw them make changes. You know, you saw Curtis Jones, all of these players. You saw Szoboszlai, they said stay further up. How much of Slot did, Slot needed to change things because he wanted to change things anyways. But how much did Slot go, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. I know Mikel Arteta is not going to change things. How much did that give him more confidence? For instance, obviously, I'm not saying we shouldn't have shape, but we know we retreat into our position. Just for that game, what if we left players further up the field? Purely because slot and teams ain't seen us do that. You get where I'm going with it? So I would say that, and I would also say be more proactive, man. Be more. It's predictable, Gaffer. It's predictable. Like, that was the vexes Arsenal fans have probably seen against Liverpool with seeing Max Dowman. Now, it's nothing to do with Max Dowman. You go do your thing. You're playing at Anfield. You're on the pitch as a 15-year-old. You're making movements at Arsenal anyways and progression in England's youth ranks. But you're on the pitch in a Premier League game at 15 years of age against the reigning champions at a magical place like Anfield. That's a good look for you as a little young man. We're all behind you. We love Max Dowman. The issue is why I say it was the vexes we saw Max Dowman is because it's 10 minutes before the end of the game. We're accustomed to that. That was away from when we had to play Wanyeri and he got his little inroads. We're accustomed to that. We know Arteta's going to down his sword. Last 10 minutes, the game's kind of gone. All right, Max Dowman, go do your thing. If he earns a penalty or scores a goal, then Arteta's a genius. But that's what I mean by that was probably the vexes we kind of saw. So be a bit unpredictable. You know what? I would say more so, less so in the Champions League. Maybe in the champs where you look at the PSG game, but definitely I'm more heavily focused that on the Premier League. But BG has said be more progressive. He won't do it. He's petrified of another bottle job season. I hear that, my boy. But at the same time, being like what you're doing is also making a choice. Or better yet, we're calling on Mikel Arteta to take risks and whatnot. And we need to have balance. Not taking a risk in life is a risk. Whether you don't apply for that job, talk to that pretty lady, you know, with me and YouTube, there was obviously a time like 9 years ago is when I started 2016. It's our 10-year anniversary. You go through that. Oh, yeah, should I do it? Should I not? You have to take that leap. Not taking a risk is a risk. If he never took the risk and took the Arsenal job, regardless of any experience he had or didn't have, we're not having these conversations. You ain't got this on your CV. You ain't got the experience. Do something different. Now, obviously, I keep saying this and I'm a broken record. Had you have gambled against Liverpool and it went left, obviously, and we still lost 1-0, we would have said, what's going on here? But because of where we're at and these talking points that well, for us on this YouTube channel, us middle gooners, we've had these thoughts already. It's not necessarily the fact that it's against Liverpool. It's just a familiar sight. And if you tried something different and it didn't work, I would say, all right, cool, we hold our licks for this game, but that might come off against in a game against a low block. It might come off 3-4 times for us next throughout the course of this season. That might help us. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If we want to get to a scenario that we have not been before under Mikel Arteta and these players, doesn't matter what they've won elsewhere, which we love that, but at Arsenal, then naturally we have to do different things. This is why I said I'm not interested in knowing about what Mikel Arteta or Arsenal players collectively and individually are good at. We know what we're good at. Take the good and make it great. It's the fine margins, it's the game management, it's the all of the things that we have question marks about that. Raise that to a good level. And then we fully maximize everything internally. Then we can start looking and saying we're unlucky if there's injuries or Liverpool are that good or City this, that, and the third. We haven't done that. And for Arteta, I do think the latter end of last season, especially when you're bucking the experienced manager in the champs, it was a learning curve. For you, it's another learning curve. I'm not on Mikel Arteta just learning at this football club for no reason. It's a relationship of convenience. You've helped us get to where we're at. We want to go to where we're getting, but you've been, for a manager that's been a manager 5 minutes, you've got a lot of autonomy over the football club to the point where you're even having a say in the sporting director type of thing. Need you to do more now. Because now it's another learning curve in that Arteta has cried for a couple of years. So have we about we've got one of the smallest squads in the league. You can't say that now. You know, again, there's question marks about individual players and whatnot. But in terms of what us Arsenal fans wanted in terms of recruitment, we'd say fair enough. We didn't expect 8 bodies. I know Liverpool have got Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike and Isaac, and they've probably been the big dogs. But at a push, we've had a top 3 summer in terms of recruitment. So there's no crying. Let's be honest. Even when everyone's fit, historically, exclude this year, we've had a small squad, have we not, people? We've had a tiny squad. The 11 has picked itself, give or take previously. Is it Trossard? Is it Martinelli? 1 or 2 other talking points. If Trossard's on the bench, then he's probably one of anything from 1 to 3 max players that are coming off that bench. Now, obviously, there's a number of injuries right now, but you've got a whole heap of options. So you've gone from near enough the 11 picking itself, things picking themselves to, it's still the case in Arteta's mind because you saw him play Murillo and not go for Wanyeri or Eze or things. You've got bare options. Sometimes having too many options in life can mess things up. Either way, you've got to make it work because you can't look at the Kroenkes. I think the Kroenkes are the best owners? No, but they've backed you. Dave, you've spent money. You've not just this summer, you've spent money, you've given a new contract, they've stood behind you when the world wants you gone. Berta's come in for 5 minutes. The worst thing you can say about Berta at this moment in time is we still haven't made any inroads to changing our reputation for outgoings. But for someone that's coming in March, the deals that were already progressed, he got it over the line. He pivoted and brought you a bad boy striker in Gyökeres, regardless of who your first choice target is. And it does not matter. Had we have signed Isaac, had we have got Gyökeres, had we have got Sesko, Ollie Watkins, or whatever have you, the same questions in the final third will remain. The same way, big up Mascara, but we've got a great defensive ethos. Any defender could slot in to the point where I reckon if you just, who's the shittest defenders you lot reckon are in the league? I bet you if they played for in our defense here, I'm not saying they'd be amazing, but you look at them a lot differently. I feel the same way in attack. I don't think it was as white. I think in defense it's as white and black as recruitment, and you give us something different. In attack, I don't think you just slap Eze, Gyökeres, Saka there, whatever have you, Wanyeri, and it's that there's something tactically that needs to give, and that has been the question. I do think you're at the point, Arteta, you can fix your own mess, you can fix your own issues. There's no, oh my God, these lot are spending this much or no one's back me. You need to deliver, because at the point where even your most loyal disciple, someone that follows you, many people will look at our squad, and it's not to say we've got bare world-class players. The players are amazing. Many people will say, you know what, that could be a winning title squad. But are you the title winning manager? You're a good manager. You've done well. Are you a winning manager? And until you do that, we're in issues. I don't want to go over the past, but the last 3 years, we should have won a Premier League trophy. Dare I say, maybe 3 on the spin, a 3-peat, maybe even a double, maybe even a couple of them and some domestic trophies. And even that, like, the question marks would have still been there. But had you have picked up some domestic trophies following on from the initial one, more than the English Super Cups, there might not be this pressure. And again, ultimately, I know there's a lot of disingenuous chat on both sides, right? But you have made this a reality. You and the players talk about trophies. We're seeing money being spent. You've been a manager. This is your 3rd year as a manager in the Champions League. And I hope there's a positive omen, because quarterfinals, semis, hopefully the final win it. We're not getting battered in Europe. When we lost to PSG and we lost to Bayern Munich, we had a level of credibility. You have been second. You've got to 1-2 semi-finals. People can say what they want about this football club. It is a difficult game. We've got a manager that overthinks. It is difficult to break us down and play against us. And there's a whole heap of positive statistics. So you have made this a reality. We are closer to getting over the line than we've ever been in the last few years. So you have to live to them standards. Pressure's a privilege, whether you're the manager or even the flipping ground staff or Frimmy, who's a content creator. Bro, this is a massive club. This club is beautiful, If you can't hack the pressure, you have to come out there. Like, simple as that. Stop throwing your players under the bus. To be fair, when did he do that? Because that's news to me. Nems, appreciate you. Smash the likes. He can't do it. He needs a new challenge. I recommend Marbella FC. Flip it, Trust the players. Be brave. Pick one. Any more? If you have one piece of advice to give Mikel Arteta, what is it? Somebody said leave. Don't keep running that. Definitely the season before last, DG, it was in our hands and we had butterfingers. Out of the 3 years that we fought for the title, last year, come on, man. You lot were getting on to me. I was vexed from the summer. I said, listen, this is either going to go up several levels or down 10 levels. The first year, I didn't really believe in it, but it was a great shock to the system. Of the 3 years, the middle season. So I think that would have been the year that we lost it on the last day of the year. That one there, I was like, okay, like that was the hardest pill to swallow, just because of the run towards the end of the season. And big up Kai Havertz for that one as well. That was when I was like, oh. And that's the thing, man. We keep doing, like, I know the person who tweeted it was disingenuous, yeah, but I see somebody tweet like everything around Mikel Arteta. It's if. Like, the sentence always starts with ifs. We've gone past the ifs and buts. Can you do it or not? Now, do I think the club are going to clip Mikel Arteta if he doesn't win a trophy? Do I feel, not saying you need to sack him and that, but think about it. If you want to be a winning club and you're thinking, right, you know what? We've backed him all the way. There's no malice. He's rebuilt the thing. He might not be the guy to get over the line. We might have to review his position in May. Do you not start from now, putting on a list of people, just saying random names, Cesc Fabregas, Areola, Xabi Alonso, Luis Enrique? You're putting Carlo, Jose, if some of you want it. Do you not indirectly put the feelers out now? Now, granted, I'm not going to be exposed to that, but until this guy gets over the line, everything needs to be on the table. There is rhetoric with, I don't really buy it, but what some fans saying that, he's got us. Look where we was, which is true, but we can't keep looking back in time. The next manager might be worse. That's all fine and dandy, really and truly. But it's like for some of your girls, I'm obviously a guy. What if I'm in a relationship and I'm not happy? I'm not gonna leave that because I'm gonna think about the good times we had. It don't make sense. If it don't work, you try again. If Eze don't bang, you need to buy another multifunctional attacker. If your players don't bang, you need to find another striker. This is the reality. We're pursuing that task, and we need to do everything to get over the line. There's been different players, different sporting directors. The owners are not going anywhere. It's easier to get rid of a manager than it is 20 odd man in the squad. Everything's on the table. He threw Eze under the bus. Today we have 3, 4, 5 situations inside the box, 1v1. Eze is completely through. Just to finish the action, you have to put the ball in the net if you want to win the game. To be fair, I would have to see the context of what that's said, really, like what he's referring to. He is right. Eze probably could have scored. I think he was looking for a penalty. My issue is, when did Eze come on? 60 odd minutes, 70 odd? I can't remember at this moment in time. So we'll go on for the other remaining minutes of the game. Because how many times? Listen, it's Liverpool. If you lose to Liverpool, there's no shame. But if you're playing the Premier League champions, let it be Salah's dance past everyone has smashed it in. Verts has shown why he was bought for 100 odd million. Van Dijk's put a defensive masterclass on. Alisson has shown why he's a world-class keeper. You say fair enough. How much times did you work the keeper? It's disingenuous, if I'm completely honest with you. Couple of balls knocked over the top from Raya to Madueke. Good little battle with Kroenkes. He didn't do much. And even cool, Eze should have done better. But well gone for the others. I'm not being funny, bro. P's have been spent in this attack. Even the guys that are not there. Of course, I'm being disingenuous. But we all would probably admit, yeah, that we're probably a lot more comfortable with Murillo and Kai Havertz up front than either of those parties in midfield, right? So let's call them strikers. How much was Murillo? 30, 40 million. Kai was 65. Odegaard cost 30 odd million quid. Eze set you back 65 odd. Gyökeres is 50 odd. We might have got Saka for free, but that's easily 100 odd million pound player. Madueke is 50 odd. You spent P's on the attack. Attack shouldn't be an issue. You've done the hard part. If anything, defending from the start to finish, game management, all of the that goes into a defensive ethos, all of that is more difficult than the attack. And I know it's not the same. And I know we live in a day and age where your first defender, is your striker. That's why everyone's talking about pressing. And your first attacker is Raya. That's why, away from being a goalkeeper, you've got to be good with your feet and all of that. But it's like, maybe I'm looking at it too basic, but we're better defensively, but we're on taking more risks defensively. Like, we'll make them, and it happens. Playing out from the back, mistakes happen, or there's a last gasp moment. A number of stray passes went unpunished against Liverpool. Marino, Madueke, Raya had one. Zubimendi got caught, not just for the free kick, but he got caught. It's like we take more risks in the defense, where it obviously is going to be more costly. There's not really any risks up front. You can go Harrods and buy all the designers you want. If you don't have no style and you don't know how to wear it, it's going to look dead. And I must admit, Arsenal fans, we're in the gutter, man, because I can't be the only one. Just seeing Eze drop his shoulder, I was like, bro, we've been deprived of this, you know? We've actually been deprived of this. He did what he did on Sunday and played Havertz in midfield. And that's where he needs to pivot, because if Havertz played, he would have played Havertz in the Marino role. But maybe looking back, he should have went, you know what? Marino can't do it to the Havertz standard. Let me try the Eze thing or the 1 year. It might not have worked, but I think many of us fair Arsenal fans are at the point where we just want to see different. And it's a bit weird because ironically it's the same team. Do you remember the game at the Emirates last season with Liverpool Arsenal, where we was in a different scenario, but us Arsenal fans, we still had that talking point about being conservative and not going for it, and we was doing our thing in the game. But we was very risk averse. And the one time, I don't know why it stays with me. I don't know why Salah's goal against us at the Emirates and us bottling a 2-goal lead against Aston Villa, I don't know why I can't shake them out of my head. But everyone was talking about taking risks. One time we gambled, and we did get shagged off a goal in the game, but we gambled. We left players high up the field. What happened? Trent cut us open. Think he found Darwin Núñez, and then bang. So it's a game of fine margins and small margins. As we Arsenal fans, we've heard a million times our gaffer say that. But my issue is, it's not even the fact that it's small and fine margins. Cool, I understand that. That's what makes and breaks things. But we're never or very rarely on the right side of them. We talked about fine margins against PSG. We weren't on the right side. Them man were off to the final at the time and they went and won it. Arteta's talking about we're the best team in Europe. He said nobody's made Liverpool suffer at Anfield like that, which there is true elements of the last few years. We've done we lost at Anfield. We still not won, but of the last 3 years, 4 now, including this, we've done a lot better at Anfield. But that was the one time, and maybe we've caught. In hindsight, we played Liverpool at a right moment, early in the season, all of that kind of stuff. Liverpool looked the most beatable of the last 3 trips, I think, from going to Anfield. And our performances when we've drawn have been a lot better. Leaves a lot to desire, but that's a big L, man. Now, what I would say is, you know what? 2026, we go again, Liverpool in it. Like, we ain't beating you there in the league since this guy played for our club. We go again. What I would say to Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, you need to, cool. I wanted to win at Anfield. You couldn't give me that. I need you to win at the Etihad now, man, because get those monkeys off your back, man. And Arteta, I know it's not just the midfield, and I'm being very basic in my analysis, but I'm sure, and I could be wrong, I stand corrected. Newcastle away, Bournemouth away, and now Liverpool this season away. You've gone, not this, well, Partey was there, Zubamendi obviously wasn't, but you've gone with that midfield and it has not banged. Stop doing it now. I'm not saying in-game you can't do that. I'm not saying there's not a scenario where it bangs, but go off script now. Go off script, because as much as I like the fact that you plan for the opposition and this one's going to move here and that, and you're predicting and doing analysis, I don't want that to go from you. There is an element of unpredictability in football. Fundamentally, that's why we all love football. We think whether you support Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Portsmouth, there's those moments that, you know, the Bergkamp goal or Declan Rice's free kicks, that's why we love football. That weren't on the bingo cards. Szoboszlai weren't on the bingo cards. But what could have been on the bingo, and that's why I've said in my analysis of the game, and I'm sounding like a broken record. Cool, Szoboszlai scored the free kick. I got no issues with that. You know, I can't predict that. But what you could predict was us with slot change things in the second half, us starting to get overran. Players are looking tired. Zubamendi could have easily come off. You could have slapped Rice on the right hand side. He probably would have went with Murillo. I was screaming, you know what? Mars Lewis-Skelly in midfield, we need a bit of personality. I'd rather him do his thing, get caught on the ball, because we need or drive that man. We need a bit more guile. And with Mars Lewis-Skelly, he wants to, you know, he does that Dembele thing. He lets it roll, he uses his strength, and he takes people on. Like we saw against Everton away last year. Naturally, let's think about football logically. If somebody's doing that in midfield, the opposition are inclined to come and press him and win the ball. That's opening up gaps. That might put Martinelli in the yard of space, and then it's Martinelli against himself, really, or whatever. Like, got to be a bit off script now, because we're a good team. We can compete, but people know what we're going to do. Need to be unpredictable, man. Marino should be backup striker. That's his thing. I don't like Marino in midfield. It's mad, because I do like when he starts up front and he drops into midfield, but I don't like him in midfield. I don't think it's as terrible as I'm going on. I just didn't want to see it. I think he rolls around on the floor a bit too much. I think Marino's a bit weird in that. You see, Liverpool, I wouldn't even say it was the typical Liverpool, but you see the first 10 minutes, Liverpool had buried the ball. They were doing their thing. After that, we took the sting out of the game. Maybe it wasn't even us taking the sting out of the game. Maybe it was just, you know, it's two teams bucking each other in the third game of the season. But with us, it suits us a lot more than Liverpool to do that. They're on making it bare fast and on the transition. We're on the slow thing. When the game's like that, Marino's in his bag. I'm not really on him in midfield in what would be described as a typical Prem game. As my guy Manny has said, smash the like button. Dave, big up yourself. You need to turn up the dial a bit. A lot now, man. Agree, DG. I get the fine margins too, but I'm also sick of hearing it from the gaffer, because it feels like politicking statements from him. Fear don't win games. Exactly. And Dave, for me, whether it's scary or not, we're just never on the right side of it. I'm at the point, if you listen, small, fine margins, cool. But we're never on the right side. We are saying the same things. We're always on the wrong side of it. And then we're doing the if that free kick doesn't go in and that. Well, it did. It did. Of course, everybody's got logic. Szoboszlai don't slap in that free kick. Liverpool might have scored another, but it ends 0-0. That does not mean anything. It don't mean anything, because it happened. There's no ideal scenarios. There's no if nobody gets injured, if this happens, if the ref this. That's not how life works. It's not how life works. If the world was ideal like that, we would all have made sure we got the best grades in school and we'd have no regrets. It don't make sense. It really doesn't. It did happen. It's as simple as that. It did happen. This is why Arteta has to go. He'll make tweaks to the attack and the team will look good for a few games, and then for no reason go back to shoehorning boring football and playing 3 CDMs. And the thing is, Murillo won't even play like a DM as well. Like, it's not your skill set. Because for me now, obviously, someone like Martinelli, you're stinking up the place. I can't always get out Arteta. You're stinking up the place. But I'm at the point now, it's the tools. You've got some high-end tools now. Gyökeres, Zubamendi, Eze. For you, Madueke, because you spent 50 million, make it work with them. For the tools that are a bit blunt or not cut up to task, demote Martinelli. There's a use for Martinelli for a year. You can help us. Like, we might have been 1-0 up at Anfield and they're on to us and they're throwing people forward. You slap on Martinelli and say, yo, help for 10, 15 minutes, follow Salah. Or their fullback is flying. Martinelli's decision-making might be an issue, but he's quick. No fullback wants to play against that. Go and pin him and keep him honest as they're chasing the game. Put people in roles they can thrive now. Because we keep taking people that should be on the peripheral, making them squad players. We take squad players and make them regulars. We take, and then we're acting like we're not getting over the line. I'll tell you, you got the tools now. You're at the point now. It's all your fault. If you own a business, it's all your fault. Obviously, he's not a business owner, and everybody's got logic here. That's why you're here. Can't just blame the man for everything. But everything indirectly is your fault. What you do on the pitch, who you deploy. Because there's times Murillo will work. Murillo has worked. But that weren't with them at Anfield. It is what it is, man. It's true that we always seem to be at the wrong end of the fine margins. And big up the Gooner. Make sure you're following his YouTube channel. That's my thing now. I'm past debating if fine margins either exist, but we're never there. We're always sat there. Oh, possession happened. This happened. That happened. This happened in first half. That never. If this happened, if we had this, if we had that, which we keep doing it. And unfortunately, the Liverpool game, the post-game comments, because we've said we've got a running joke on this platform. You're a mod, you know. How many times have we seen certain statements? Yeah. And if you didn't know, for example, like anything that came up against Liverpool, if you didn't know we played Liverpool, you could take that paragraph and it could apply to bare games. That's why I think the truth is in the middle. I do think a lot of Arsenal fans are doing too much. 3 games, we're throwing the toys out the pram. But I understand it's pent-up frustrations because you can see a theme developing and things of that ilk. Equally, I do think some that are urging caution, like ridiculously, calm down, calm down, calm down, it's because they don't want to see what could potentially be something. Reality is we've got an near enough impossible task against a juggernaut of a Liverpool side where they believe in their manager, they believe in their players. I would say for a large section of us Arsenal fans, it's not even that you don't believe in Mikel Arteta. You believe a lot in the players. You're just asking your manager, are you going to get the best out of them? You've got the tools. Can you do it? That's where we're at now. We're live. We're live. We're live. Somebody said we're live. Eze definitely brings something we need and haven't had. It's true, but then surely Eze's got to be a star. You spent bread, bro, and he's better than what we've got. But like, there is logic. Is he going to be? I know his heat map shows him on the left, but is he going to be the long-term left winger? If he's going to play into a 10, are you prepared to drop Odegaard? Really, like, I want to lay off Odegaard a bit. If Odegaard's form's amazing, great. Maybe you want Eze in midfield and you want Odegaard. So what does that mean for a Zubamendi and a Rice? Do you drop one out? Does one play as a 6? Do you tweak things like if you play 1 6 and 2 8s is in the game? Do you then bring on subs? You've got the tools, bro. You have to make it work. That Villa game still haunts me to this day. Liverpool dropped points. We were in a great position with 7 games to go to win the league. Best performing team in the league at that time. And that's the thing. Liverpool will drop points. Their manager knows it. Everybody, their players know it. Liverpool have, compared to everyone, been amazing. They got 9 points from 9, and they've got gears to go up. And they're not in full flow yet. And it's nasty, quite frankly, what they could actually do. Because you've got Hugo Ekitike, you got Isak, you got Salah, you got Wirtz, Frimpong. Between Frimpong, if you're not up there for assists with Isak, Hugo, Cody Gakpo, and Salah, something's wrong. But it's one thing them dropping points, which they won't drop too many. You need to be there to exploit. Because now you're chasing a deficit immediately. It would have been nice to beat them, but now it means like, okay, cool. First defeat against the top 6 in 2 years. Cool. We ain't won at Liverpool too many times. While I think it was the best time and we were bullish, and maybe that's a degree of why we're feeling this way, because we thought, you know what, it's time to puff out chest. It's all right. But for me now, all right, it is what it is. Now we need to be great against the top 6, because admittedly, when we lost to Liverpool, it's not going to make sense, but it made me think of Chelsea away. Last 2 seasons, we've gone to Stamford Bridge and drawn. There's been a lot more. And it also made me think, all right, when we're playing these teams, because we all know one of our kryptonites is the low blocks. You need to make now because you dropped those 3 points against Liverpool. Now I'm onto you even more. Now I don't want to hear anything, because Nottingham Forest, they are a dangerous team. They're going to hit us on the counter attack. Stubborn bastard of a unit defensively, like you've seen with Nuno Espirito Santo. It's got nothing to do with Edu, but it could be the Edu derby. I'm sure he's on the phone to his gaffer. He wants to get a thing out. We need to win these games. And the saddest thing, I know our first defeat of the season has come at away from home, and of the 3 games, we probably look the best against Leeds, even though I think there's talking points. The Emirates Stadium last season is probably where we was dropping the more points, or the frustration is now. We needed everything to go up the gears even more. Now it therefore has. If we know Arteta is here for at least 1 more year, We don't need to decide if he's going to win trophies or not. We can wait and see. Every Arteta out argument has been heard. No need to repeat. To Gooner, it sounds good, but you know that's just not how us Arsenal fans go down, man. You know yourself the talking point. It is what it is, man. I don't think you're wrong though. Why buy the best available striker on the market and then play him to not be a striker? What is this goofball situation, DG? I'm not gonna lie. Gyökeres has to adapt to our system and the league and the different dynamics from Arsenal to Sporting, and obviously Mikel Arteta. But then you're right. If whatever you say about Gyökeres, he's bagged for Coventry, he's bagged for Sporting, he's bagged for his country. If you don't bag here, I'm onto you, and I'm more onto Mikel Arteta because I think I've been very consistent in that. As much as we was in transfer season and we got some signings, the less glamorous thing is improving the existing players you've got and finding different solutions. If I thought it was as white and black as you slap these players on the pitch and we're better, great. For what I mean by that is, if you were to buy another defender and you play them in our defense, I'm more looking at the defender. I think it's more your fault because I think there's a system there. I do think there's an attacking tax at our club, if I'm honest. Even with Martinelli, like Martinelli's got bare things he needs to answer for that I'm not blaming Mikel Arteta for. But you did get a tune out of him. So are you necessarily putting players in conditions they're going to thrive? You're the man on 15 million a year. You're the pro license coach. I actually rate you quite a lot, Mikel Arteta, but I'm not with you to the end. Like, you're going to be here for 20 years and we're not doing what we need to do. Find the solutions. Because if we're having these conversations, you must be. So you're choosing, in my opinion, not to do something. Nah, DG, leave Cess out. These little clown Arsenal fans not going to disrespect Cess, let him remain a legend. Did they even call Arsenal as a legend? And to be fair, I've seen fans get at Tony Adams, Thierry Henry. What's a Cess Fabregas then, innit? Really, for these lot. He has to play it safe mentality. He has the play it safe mentality. Teta isn't a winner. I want him to win it, but this is what he is. Bench Eze and play D. Who's D? No Gyökeres service. Bring in Jose or Luis Enrique. I don't want Jose, man. I wouldn't cry if we got Jose, but yeah, man. We definitely had butterfingers. I agree with BG. Arteta needs a 6-point lock-in harness installed for game day. Let the lads express themselves. You can't. He's standing in the rain and complaining you're wet. Like, that's where we're at with the gaffer. Like, that's where we're at. Because there is a point. There are some Arsenal fans, bro. You could get 99 points. Liverpool win it with 100. People are still going to look at it. And I do think it's harsh, but I don't think it's without validity. If we finish second with 99 points, Liverpool got 100. I understand people if they said, you know what, cut. Because fundamentally, you still didn't get over the line. I get it. It's Xavi time. Put him on the list. But realistically, everybody knows no one. I don't even want it to get like that. Nobody is getting sacked 3 games into the season. You know, for as much as we were excited about maybe a Rodrigo getting Eze, all the deals we've had, you know, the talking points around Berta, talking points around pre-season. What do we keep seeing David Ornstein and the credible journalist saying? The external pressure, so that's me, that's you, that's the media and whatnot. That kind of stuff is not correlated internally. So we have to see, man. Big up Junior Films. Why you got a new username? Man said, learn that football doesn't revolve around just 4-3-3. Is it even a... I do even play 4-3-3. It's not even a 34-3-3. It's more like a 4-2-3-1, and it kind of dips in between. Mikel's done the best he can for an inexperienced manager. He's done well, but it isn't enough. Need to bring in Luis Enrique, Inzaghi, or Hansi Flick next season. Always an under-diluted viewpoint if only the management listened and applied. Well, their decision, I'm sure they've got their reasons, and I'm no expert, but if us lot with limited managerial experience or none, if we're seeing this, what the hell is a Slot, a Pep, any manager? Because forget that, like, bro, how many, unpopular opinion, we don't lose that many times. Unfortunately, when we do lose, it's very big lows, innit? It's very big lows, but it's too easy to clock us. You know, let's be rigid defensively, and you've got half a chance. And I'm sorry, that shouldn't be a problem. I don't have to rate Martinelli to know that he can cause problems for the attack. I don't have to rate Madueke to know that there's problems, whether he's on the left and he's a good crosser, or he's on the right and he's doing the jinky majinky. Saka speaks for himself. Gyökeres speaks for himself. Odegaard speaks for himself. Fair enough. I'm a lot more of a fan of Rice in the 8 than I thought it would have been initially. And I still maintain put him in his actual role, kind of what we saw against Bilbao with Zubimendi. But just because of his legs and his willingness to get in behind and being a threat from set pieces, there's something there. Eze the same, Odegaard the same, Zubamendinho the conductor with Zubamedi in the second half against Liverpool. This should not be an issue. moving the ball quicker, providing our striker, Gyökeres as well, providing our striker with service, move the ball quicker. Because I'm just an armchair expert. But if a team's good structurally and they're compact, if you move the ball quicker, all it takes is one opposition player to be out of position or one galloping run from us and we're in, you get that goal. They've got a decision to make. You still going to do the low blocks or you're going to come at us? You open up where we're gone in it. Because admittedly, the only time I've seen, well, you could say the long balls to Madueke, but the only time I've seen not even something to cling on to, something a bit different is the United game. It was crap because our performance weren't there. But we were trying to, I wouldn't necessarily blame Arteta. It was more the players. Remember a couple of times we're breaking, Martinelli and Saka are making some shit runs. Gyökeres ain't being found. That's the only time I thought, hold on, I'm seeing something different. You could extend that to Bilbao in pre-season, but Bilbao is the exception rather than the rule because we didn't see anything. And I'm not expecting, I said it at the start of the season, I'm not expecting us to rock up against United or play Leeds where we scored 5 goals and there were still these talking points, or play Liverpool, even if we won and Magic won. That's not how life works. It's not that, but there's no building blocks. But what I would say, and what I will maintain, 10, 11, 12 games, and that don't mean you can fuck about for that. Like, we need to pattern up now. 10, 11, 12 games, if I'm still saying the same things, now is where I'm starting to get peed off. Because even when we're winning games, I know those 3-4 games that kind of we look back and sum up whether we're winning trophies or not, that's where it is. If Emery had the same backing as Arteta, we would have been champions by now and won a European trophy. Justice for Unai. Unai's gone. I don't quite believe that. I agree with the backing thing because he wasn't given a lot of luxuries Arteta was given. Emery just weren't built for this. He's better at the underdog stuff. He just weren't built for this. I'll always admire Emery. You tried to learn the language. Anybody that steps into a great man's shoes, you're joining after Wenger, Moyes after Sir Alex Ferguson, Slot after Klopp. You have my respect. Because maybe I don't know what Liverpool did and they won the title, but naturally, like, it gets a bit dumb. Like if Wenger makes you train on the Monday and now I don't know, Emery says train on the Tuesday, everybody's judging you via that premise. But yeah, I don't know, man. Emery weren't the guy for us. Emery used to do fucking. The one thing I'll say to Emery, I think the year we got to that European final, you failed us in the league. The boys failed you. They failed. The players failed it. They failed you and Emery in that European final. They failed the fans. They failed everyone. And most importantly, they failed themselves. Apart from Iwobi, at least you've done something. That was horrible. Good evening. Come on, big up Emery. I didn't like how it is a joke, but I didn't like how the media took that. And then it went from a light-hearted joke to you're now taking the piss out of someone learning another language. I'm not for that. Because half the people that take the piss out of someone that got a good grasp like Emery on English, they can't speak another language. But such is life, man. People always want to mock people and do stupidness in it. Move it quicker, bro. Move the ball quicker. And maybe the players could take the onus. Maybe Arteta could promote them to do the onus. But a team, the good, the bad, the ugly, unfortunately, in this football thing, a team is the reflection of the manager. Unfortunately. This is why I always, and I like to think I'm fair. When we win, everyone gets praised. When we lose, we ask questions. If Emery had Gyökeres, he didn't have him, man. Like, Gyökeres had no. So you are right. I get what you mean. Because whatever I say about Emery, you got a tune out of Lacazette and Aubameyang. And I've seen us be decent attacking under Arteta, which it goes back to my previous point. You lot are boying it though. Smash the like button and press the hype button if you haven't, people. You're choosing not to. I've seen you do it, but for whatever reason, some might have value claims, some might not. You're not doing it now. Like, you're not doing it. Why are you not doing it? Because if we can see this, rivals can see this. What the hell are professional football managers seeing? Professional analysts. That if we're playing on if the team's playing Arsenal on the Saturday, like you look at Arnie Slot, them man played the Sunday we played them. Did they not play the Monday of that week? Obviously, he's preparing for Newcastle at the time. There's people that are paid to watch. There's several people that are paid to watch, not just Arsenal's most recent game, but Arsenal, like a couple of Arsenal fixtures, a couple of Arsenal games, and report their findings to Slot. So if us with limited, like being exposed to that stuff can do it, what the hell are people that are paid to sit there from 9 to 5 looking at, okay, Gabriel Magalhaes stands here in the 3rd minute, he scratches his chin and Raya does this and they stand like this, that happens. What the hell do you think is going to happen? More losses incoming unless Arteta forges a proper attack, goals win games. Terry Neal in the past did more from 1978 to 1980, getting us to 4 finals in that time, than what Arteta has done in 5.5 years. Let that sink in for the Arteta fans. I'm a fan of Arteta. I'm just not a fan of. I'm a fan of my club. I'm not a fan of bum sucking everything you've done. And again, I do think there's some cult following that say he's a generational manager. Listen, if you think he's a generational manager, that's cool. You know, like I said, I'm past debating that. But if you've got a generational manager that we're not happy about our owners, but them man have spent peace. We've been second last couple of years. Even last year where we was down to our bare bones. You've seen him get to a quarters and a semis. You've seen him get to a semi-final of a League Cup. You bear positive statistics. Is it not fair to ask? Small, fine margins all the time as well. Is it not fair to ask, that? Where's the Prem? Where's the champs? Where's the League Cup? Where's the FA Cup? Where's the finals? Did the players not deserve this? Everyone's got the answers. I always say, who's got the questions? What do I know, though? 100 like target people, come on. We're out here doing too much. Fair enough, if that's what you want to do. Did Arteta really meet Josh? I don't know, man. There's a lot of rumors going on about that. Like, Josh has sat down with Arteta and said, what you need to do, blah, 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 blah. I hear it, but surely if that was going to be said, is that not said when they, like, first week or so when they're coming in to prepare the new season? Or would that not have been done long before Liverpool? Or, you know, when you see the stuff around Josh sanctioning Eze and all these things and the unprecedentedness and the goosebumps, surely that would have been done already. Like, we've given you, like, we've seen you do your madness. Fair enough. Maybe last season we didn't help you in January. We've given you what you wanted. We've spent peas off the backdrop of we still need to get rid because we're close to the Champions League PSR. And I still think that is one of the biggest remits of Berta is to start making us known as being traditional good sellers, like the early days at the Emirates where we had to pay off the stadium. Are they not going to go, like, now it's your turn to deliver? Because, like, to be honest with you, you can't blame. There's a lot of other things being blamed for us not winning stuff. And it's not to say Edu weren't bad or the Kroenkes haven't done whatever, but despite all of this, if Arteta left today, are we in a better position than when he walked in? You've still managed to finish second. You managed to beat Real Madrid. You've sniffed that stuff. This is all in spite of what anyone has to say about the ownership. So you evidently have shown improvement. You evidently believe, because you would walk. Fair enough, I'm not walking from no 15 million a year. You have to sack my thing. Still 15 million a year. You're mad. Anyways, yeah. The very fact that you're here, you believe, regardless, there's no woe is me. You believe you can do what you need to do. You believe, regardless of if the owners are the best thing or the worst thing, you would not be here if you didn't believe that this was the best place for you for whatever reason. Still hoping we bring a left winger in Jan. Fingers, toes, everything crossed. I don't think we're signing anyone in Jan personally. You never know, though. And it'll probably be what? Maybe a lesser known one. One FA level course still mentioned as well. The only reason why we won against Leeds was Odegaard leaving the pitch. Damn, that's a nasty thing to say, isn't it? It feels like we're playing with a leash on. I think we have the caliber of players now for Arteta to unleash them a bit more. He needs to, man. Having to discuss a loss for 2 weeks is dark. Yeah, man. Losing before the international break, it leaves a sour taste in the mouth. You can't get out of your system immediately. Sometimes I think when you lose, like, it would have been nice. Obviously, it's not nice to lose, but it would have been nice to, in an ideal world, we played Liverpool on like some random Tuesday, Wednesday night. All right, we lost at Anfield. We got a game on the weekend. Shake out the system. It's not that we've forgotten, but we just keep it moving. Man said DG's TalkSport record looking a bit spooky, man. Probably only seen one win since he's been on there. I hope they keep calling you up. This Marcel is a bastard, you know. I know, actually. I can't lie. There's more draws and losses than wins, but I was there for the 2 against Madrid. I definitely was there for a next win. Allow me, man. Bare draws. United draw. Liverpool last season draw. Liverpool this year, L. There's definitely another one. There was a Prem game last season. We suffered a kick, like it was a kick in the teeth. Like it physically felt like someone boxed out my front teeth. Is where it is, man. Shout out to Sport though for the invite, man. You'd think Marcel is not a fan here with this level of trolling, man. Marcel, just know, yeah. Because I don't even want to get Liverpool, but just know any opportunity there is to get you, like, we're rushing you, man. DG, every coaching license I have completed, the statement was made that players have to have freedom to adjust to the game demands. You have to, man. Because at the end of the day, I think we're too much on the system thing. And I don't want us to not be on the system thing because that is how the game is. But the individuals will always make stuff. Look at Slot last season and this year. Micromanaging bare stuff. But for a Salah, Salah tracked back against us, to be fair. But he's saying, you know what, Salah as an individual, man, have to keep you up there. They tweak the way they're playing because you can't play the same way. I don't know, with a Curtis Jones and a McAllister. Man, I have to remember these man are individuals. And I do think we're getting into that weird scenario where it's all about system, which is why I liked, in theory, us signing Eze and Gyökeres in particular. You could extend it to Madueke. But like, if I want us to be different, be unpredictable, I want us to get to different heights and go to a realm we haven't, then I need to see different. And I thought with these, man, it forces Arteta to change. Of course, the players have to adjust and do all these things, but that Gyökeres on paper is not the striker that Arteta would want. You need a striker that scores goals, so I don't care about that. Eze is a player we'd all love, but he's not. He can fit the system, but with the other players occupying certain roles, you get where I'm going. I thought, rah, like you actually have to. You have no choice. They have to adapt to you, but you have no choice now. Like you actually have no choice. And again, we'll have to see really and truly, man, what's going on. But yeah, man. Can we ever see MLS, Dowman, Wanyeri midfield at the same time? We hope so. Not anytime soon, though, man. I wouldn't bank on it. That is Arteta's problem. He keeps doing things that in the past didn't work and picks the worst times to try to do it against. Pardon me, just to try to force it to work. Stubbornness. I think it's time we admit that Arteta is pragmatic defensive manager. That 2022-23 season was a fluke with the attacking football played. Expect more defensive football. As long as you get over the line, as they definitely bring something we need and haven't had. Facts. Oh, man. I always remember the West Ham game the season before last. I think, if I'm right, might be wrong, but if we'd won, we'd be champions. Is that the one where I'm not going to say his name, but I think certain man missed the pen, the black kit? That's the thing about supporting the club that we love, you know. See, not that we've won titles, because that's the real highs, but the highs are high. The lows are very low. Such is life, innit? Such is life. The lows are low, man. Like, yeah, man. Like Aston Villa at home, West Ham at home. A few years ago when we was fighting for fourth, Spurs and Newcastle away. Second leg against Paris Saint-Germain. Second leg for me against Newcastle. Really and truly, in the league, January onwards. But I remember in January, obviously we picked it up a bit. Well, I felt a bit better mentally, but there was a period in January, like the windows closed. It is what it is. I'm sure not around whenever we played Nottingham Forest away, it's like we were just stumbling along. I was like, yeah, this ain't it, man. Like this is really not it still. This ain't it, man. Marcel's an elite troll. He's bastard, but he's our bastard. Big him up, man. He supports the channel. Hit the like button. Big up yourself, Nems. Nems, let me make you a mod as well. Don't be getting another account, though. Don't be making too many accounts. You're a mod now. I can't keep up with what the hell you're doing. 63 likes, people. You're not playing it. But DG, don't you also think that the break gives Teta time to marinate and rethink his strategy because he needs to, right? 100%. 100%. You've got time to think. You had bare time to think in the off season, during preseason at various points, and you've got time to think. And as I said, I'm not expecting, as much as I want to play attacking and stuff, I didn't expect rock up Man United. It's there. Leeds is there. Liverpool is there, which is why I keep saying 10 to 12 plus games, because that is now where you're going to see teams in full flow. That's where you're going to see it begin to click for Liverpool, maybe click for us and others. This is why I'm a bit more vexed at us with Liverpool, because it's early season. Like you saw 22 players, 20 players excluding the goalies, various levels of fitness, people getting cramped, people not really doing much. And also, we're at the point where the results are all that matters now. You can't we all know how the Prem works. Across a 38 game calendar, if you're going to get the amount of wins, losses, and draws generally that you deserve. But as we know in life and in football, week to week, it don't work like that. We could not have complained if we drew against Man United, or they had some clear-cut chances that they didn't take. We're definitely not complaining that we won. We definitely can't complain if we drew or lost, right? The same kind of thing that saw us benefit from against United, it led to our demise against Liverpool. The performance was even. The results are different. They got the 3 points, keep it moving. Sometimes you're going to win when you deserve to. Sometimes you're going to get what you deserve. Sometimes you're going to win when you deserve to lose. Draw when you deserve a bit more. Lose when you deserve a bit more or less. But generally, the season's going to pan out. So it is what it is. But I think in the 3 games I've seen in the Premier League, let alone pre-season of last season, I just want to see. I don't know, man. Like, you see, if you plant a tree or something, or you plant something, and like you obviously put it in this in the soil. I don't know what you call it, but you see when you see this is gonna look so wrong. But you see when you see that first sprout or something, that first little green shoot. That's what I would want. That's kind of what I wanted to see, or I've wanted to see at this moment, if that makes sense, in an attacking sense. Like, I'm not expecting it all to click, but just show me a bit different. Okay, raw, we're looking decent down the left and the right. Odegaard's doing something slightly different. Gyökeres is you're trying to you're doubling down on that a bit. Maybe the attackers are staying further high up the field. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just an armchair expert. I'm just seeing what I'm seeing. I think I'm seeing the same movie again and again. And if it was a DVD or VHS, how much times you're gonna put the same? It could be your favorite movie if it is. How much times you're gonna put the same? You're gonna put the same movie on. You've watched it a million times, and you're expecting a different ending. Fair play, man. Arsenal has intentionally beefed up the squad ready in transition for the next manager. Arteta will not be here next season. Arsenal won't spend nothing next season because they know the squad's capable. I disagree. I think we will spend. We're not going to get 8 players in, that's for sure. Smash the likes. It costs nothing. Hit the sub button. The goal is 100k subs next. Appreciate that. Big up DG. Spending 940 million. Surely the owners expect to win something now. Why give him all that money? 100%. There is an element of that is catch-up money. But in these 3 years, now 4, if you include the season that started, where the rebuild's been done, we had to kind of pay for the sins of the past. Since we've got in these conversations, whatever that money is from first title challenge to what I hope this season is not only a title challenge, but winning, naturally, some bang for our buck. We're not winning trophies. We're spending P's. You're not really getting too much in terms of outgoings. From a business point of view, well, go on, kiddie. Like, we're selling a lot of shirts. We're getting Champions League P's. I guess if you want to break it down, obviously from 1st to 20th, wherever you finish that, like, that's, you get a certain pot of the Premier League P's. But naturally, it's Arsenal FC. It's not Arteta in or out FC. You're not here till the wheels fall off. Obviously, if you go win us a Prem and champs, and we look at you in the same way of a Wenger or Liverpool with Klopp, or, you know, Wenger, Klopp, Jose, like, if you ever got anything near having those talking points, I understand benefit of the doubt, riding into the end. But you're not that. Big up yourself, Shane. DG, I'm going to make Arsenal contact. Do your thing. Does it worry you, DG, that Slot said he sees no difference in our play compared to last season? Well, 100%. Like, because nothing changes just generally. I don't believe Josh sat down with Arteta. That's a bunch of BS. I'm a fan of Arteta. I think he has the skill to win us the league, but his mentality is shocking. I do think he's a good manager, and he will be a good, very good manager. But at the end of the day, we're at that stage now, brother. What are we doing? Because I don't subscribe to we haven't had luck and all these things. You make your own luck. If we exhaust all the things we need to exhaust at this football club, then I'm here to say, man, are unlucky and there's luck. No, we shot ourselves in the foot, and you have to be harsher, because we're not trying to just get fourth. We're not just, well, I think the majority of us are not necessarily happy to be here. So yeah, man. Arteta is a tactically adoptive manager. The constant negativity is blocking your vision to understand what's happening. That, I don't think that's directed at me. And even if it was, I don't think I've been negative. Criticism is not negative. And at the end of the day, he can be as adaptive, as adoptive as possible. It's not evident to see if you're not winning what needs to be won, which is it now. We know you're a good manager. We know you're busting the youth. We know you can make us a stubborn outfit. We know you rebuilt the club. You know that it's not quite toxic. You need to get over the line. You could say that's confirmation bias. As long as you get over the line, that's where we're at. You could be the best thing since sliced bread. Get over the line. Because what have you adapted to? Or if you are adaptive, whatever you're adapting to has not worked. DG, don't say you're not a fan of Arteta. His cult will offer to meet up and fight. I ain't scared of a bunch of pussycats. I'm a bigger fan of Arteta than any of these Mikel Arteta toxic positive dons. The difference is I'm not breading. The difference is they love him beyond football. Like, they fancy him. They want to fight his wife. They want to shag him. They want to shag Sesko. I'm not on that. I rate you, so I'm going to ask you questions. If I didn't, I don't ask anything more than somebody that I wouldn't ask of myself, and I don't ask something of someone that I know that I don't think you have the capabilities to do. If I genuinely thought you were shit, fuck talking about the league. If I thought Saka weren't what top class, world class, why would I ever look at him to get double figures? It don't make sense. What's his problem is now, I'll never just go for it. It might land him another great job later on. Damn. We know as soon as Havertz is back, Gyökeres is eating bench. I'm late, But I'm guessing you sold on Arteta's stubbornness. It's been terminal since we've reverted defensively. By all means, he's overly savvy in the first third, but increased the potency in the final third. Being a manager, it's a double-edged sword because you do have to be stubborn, but like you also need to know when to allow it, bro. So yeah, man. Just adapt. Let's be realistic. We don't have 20+ Prem proven scorers in our squad to fill this entitled. Okay, that's cool. But regardless, you thought you've been second. You might not have that. You've been second. You do have a striker in Gyökeres that has the capacity to get you 15, 20 goals. You know what Saka's on. You know what Eze did for Crystal Palace and a team that's going to be on the front foot. You know what he's on. You know what Odegaard can be on if you get him fit. You've added goals to Rice's game. What are we talking about? I'm sorry, but that's sounding like a pussy old thing. Then what we doing? Because Arteta, regardless, he's saying he wants to win trophies. The players as well. So what are we doing here then? Don't take the piss, man. Don't insult my intelligence. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you on about? Because if you ain't got... I've seen Liverpool win a league without an out-and-out direct number 9. What are we on about then? We actually don't lose that much. We lost 3-4 times last season. Our problem was them 14 draws. So we really can't do better then? And had those 14 draws turned into 7, what conversations are we having? I'm sorry, but you don't want to be a winner. I'm sorry. I like to think I'm quite balanced. I'm sorry. So what are we doing then? So what are these men doing what the fuck are these men doing in June, July, and August? You think they're sitting there saying, oh my God, we don't have a striker. We can't do this. They want to win shit. And the players deserve it. Don't take the piss. Don't take the piss out of this football club, please. Because I'm not here to say we're the biggest and baddest and our dick's the biggest and my dad will beat up your dad and that. But don't take the piss. Don't insult me, please. Don't insult my intelligence. Fuck off with that defeative mentality, respectfully, and not necessarily at you. Less of that. I'm not on that. Anyone that's on that cut. Because we've got a mammoth task of Liverpool. Liverpool are serious. We have to be near enough invincible, near enough impeccable. It's serious. And it feels impossible. But if you're not ready to go to war, regardless of what happens, fuck off. If you're scared, go to church. If you're scared, stay at home. And I extend that to anyone connected to this football club in any capacity. Do not take the piss. Don't take the piss. In life, unfortunately, there's winners and losers. About time this flipping football club remembered how beautiful it is and won. We flirted with it. We've had a lot of foreplay, a lot of good nights. We're closer to getting over we're actually closer to achieving that. Don't blame me. Don't do that, bro. What are you on about? Be realistic. What has being realistic ever got anyone? And I know what you're meaning, but what has being realistic ever got anyone in life? What has being realistic ever got anyone in life? I'm sure they told Jose Mourinho when he said I'm the special one, be realistic. I'm sure they said to Wenger when he said invincible, be realistic. People corned Jurgen Klopp when he took over, or I don't even know, in 2015 at Liverpool, he said something like in the next 2, 3, 4 years we'll win the title. And they did win it, but he was off. That's where I need my manager to be. You've got it in you. Go and deliver now. Go and deliver, man. What do you mean? We're running through brick walls. We're going into fight. We're going to do madness. We're going to do madness. We need to listen. Forget that. We're going toward this season. Anyone that is scared, it's okay, you know. Stay at home because we're going toward. There's serious things out there. If you're scared, stay at home. We don't want pussies on the battlefield with us. That is more detriment than I'd rather have less men and women that are on this than half-hearted people. You're gonna cost us. If you're shook, players, fans, anyone, stay at home. Don't involve yourself because you need to be on what we need to be on. Don't do that. Win, lose, or draw, Arteta will always be stubborn. It won't be because of the fans he gets sacked, but the ownership and the board realizing it's not worth it. DG, why do you think Arteta keeps sticking to this defensive style when clearly we did so well in 21, 22? I do think people look at that season with rose tints. A lot of the games were on knife edge. I don't want Arteta to change defensively. I just need more in the final third. I need you to tweak things in midfield. I'm not really vexed about that. I just need us to be half decent going forward. You go and look at the records for big chances, chance creation. We're Arsenal Football Club. We should be up there. And if we're not going to be up there, whatever Saka does, there's an element that he could be better if we actually did that. Gyökeres is not getting 15, 20 goals. Eze is not doing nothing. Things are not happening. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Come like, man, people just like to be here for the sake of being here. And I just want to sing North London forever. No. The manager's spoken about silverware. The players have spoken about silverware. Allow it now. Don't insult my intelligence. I'm not on this kumbaya being here for no reason. Oh, it's a nice day out. Fuck off the Sunday league then. We're close. Because then what are we going to do then? So what are we going to do? Allow me, man. You're boying me. You're boying me. Am I being realistic? We've been in a title contention for years. Because half the people that say, well, that comment, if your Correzi is not getting 20 goals, what the fuck is Sesko doing? Or any striker. Anyways, man, moving on. Big up Max Dowman. He's the first ever schoolboy to be named in Arsenal's Champions League phase A-list squad. Dowman could become the youngest player to feature in the competition should he play in a year before the turn of the year, a match before the turn of the year. Gabriel Jesus has not been included in the Champions League squad, people. Raya, Kepa, Setfadar, goalies, Saliba, Mosquera, White, Hincapie, Gabriel Magalhaes, Timber, Calafiori make up our defense. Odegaard, Eze, Norgard, Trossard, Madueke, Marino, Havertz, Zubamendi, Dowman and Rice, Saka, Martinelli and Gyökeres. Now, Miles Lewis Skelly and I believe Wanyeri have been named on the other list. They're going to be there. Don't worry about any of that. How long is this? Should we read this about the Kroenkes, folks? You read it? Oh, I thought it was Art the Rose. My guy. The Kroenkes at Arsenal, the rise of Josh, transfer investment and fan sentiment. As the final whistle went at Old Trafford after Arsenal kicked off their Premier League campaign with victory over Man United, Josh left his seat in the director's box and headed for the dressing room. Having made the trip from the United States, Josh was in Manchester to watch Arsenal's first match of the season, something he does annually, and stayed on to watch the 5-0 win against Leeds the following weekend. I think he was obviously there. I'm sure him, but all of these guys, they were there at Anfield as well. I'm trying to skip through the Tosh people. It's become, as in being there, apparently it's not unusual for Josh to venture into the dressing room. It's been an annual tradition for Arsenal's executive leadership, managing director Richard Garlick and Tim Lewis to fly to Denver, Colorado, normally coinciding with the men's international football break to visit Stan and Josh. With domestic football taking a break in March, the Kroenkes hosted the club's most senior figures for a few days. Arsenal were embarking on a Champions League run to the semi-finals where they were beaten by the eventual winners Paris Saint-Germain, but they failed to narrow a gap on Liverpool in the Premier League. A sense of disappointment had hovered over the Emirates after the January transfer window, in which they needed a striker to give them a final push in the running, but ended up without one. A third consecutive season of finishing second beckoned. I'm reading two things at once. This only added importance to the meeting between Stan and the owners, KSC Entertainment, the holding company of Arsenal Football Club, and his son Josh, who is more engaged than ever with the ongoings in North London. Their March get-together followed a meeting in November during the men's international break in LA to go through their plans for the 2025 summer transfer window. Needed to answer one question. What was the quality to get Arteta and his squad finally over the line? What would it have been for you? To be honest, the defensive market is more viable than the offensive market, so it's easier and cheaper to improve your defense. I hear that, boy, yeah, man. I hear you, Mali, man. You're my guy, Mali, and I weren't directing it at you, but you got to remember the message, because obviously you're quite balanced, but there's some fans that I think are too defeative. It's competitive sport. At the end of the day, these brothers bleed like us, you know. Liverpool bleed like us. I know Isaac's cold. I know Hugo Ekitike is cold. Slot has done it, not just here in Holland. We know what they've done. They bleed just like us. And if you lot can look me in my face and Arsenal at their full potential, we're attacking, we're defending, the tactics, the in-game management, if everything we can't do, we've drawn enough blood from that stone, then I'll put my hands up and say fair enough. But we're going to war. I'm bringing my shin pad and boots and light bulbs. I'm ready, to be fair. I must have sounded like the gaffer. This fan base, big up Aris, man. Where you been? Big up the members. This fan base also needs to decide if we're a big or elite club or an Everton Newcastle, the way man make excuses. I hear that, man. You can't, that's my thing. You can't sit here and say we've got the manager's generational and this is good about defense and more points than the Invincibles. If you're ready to waffle and one loss in a calendar year once upon a time or something, if you're ready to waffle about them good points, then you've signed yourself to this big table. And we know people in our fan base are disingenuous. This season, we're not caring about the outside noise because we know they're never going to be fair. We know what they're on. So forget all of that, innit? Internally, we know there's more to give. We're a good side. We need to be great. We need to chase that illusion of perfection. Perfection can never be achieved. But if we're not trying to do that, what are we doing then? We need to be trying to achieve that to the day the good Lord sums us all to heaven. As long as there's breath in our lungs, we have to try, bro. And girls and broesses, as we call you lot here. The Kroenkes have just authorized another summer of significant spending. Almost 250 million was spent, including the marquee signings of striker Victor Gyökeres for £54.8 million, Martin Zubimendi for £55.8 million. There was also a deal worth up to £67.5 million for Eze from Palace. Interesting. And I think it's gone over my head in that, obviously, Zubimendi, you see where you slot in immediately. Gyökeres as well. And we know Eze's star, X factor, all the things we could say about Eze. And we have probably been focusing a lot on tactically, how does he fit into this Arsenal team, right? But when you deep it, yeah, he's our big money signing this summer. So you need to get him in the squad. And I understand, I'm trying to put myself in Josh's shoes. And you're talking to Arteta. Cool, you're the manager. I'm, the trust fund baby. But I might just say, Arteta, I hear that you got the pro license, you're doing all of this stuff. This is if I'm Josh, you're doing all of this stuff. But hear what? He's your big money signing. What do you mean? Are you sure he can't be a starter? You got to get him in the team somehow, some way. It's just dawned on me. And it shouldn't have dawned on me because we've seen the prices before, but 67.5 million. Well, in total, obviously. Well, even that. We know the 7.5 is bonuses and that. But even if we just say it's 60, he's cost more than everyone else. Since 2018, there's been an evident shift in Arsenal's approach in transfers. Between 2019 and 2023, Arsenal had a gross spend in the region of 1.1 billion. If you add 2024-25 spending in brackets 104 million, and what they forked out this summer, 245 million, they are now over the 1.4 billion mark. And again, that, as much as I want the Kroenkes to go, since you've taken full ownership, you have invested. And I'd love to see how much Arteta or has been spent under the gaffer. The figures from 2024-25 and 25-26 exclude agent fees and transfer levies. We are yet to have the accounts for the year ending May the 31st, 2025. This spending puts them in the same ballpark as Liverpool, United, and City, but it's still shy of Chelsea, we know, who have spent more than 2 billion in the same period, although their net spend will be much lower than the figure given their success at selling players. But apologies. But when it smash the like button and subscribe. But when it comes to pursuing targets, neither Stan nor Josh get involved. They have a perspective on the profile of player Arsenal should be targeting, young with plenty of upside. But they are not entering negotiations with the selling club, nor will they be dealing with a target's agent. They will ensure there are checks and balances before it's too late. For example, Stan and Josh want to know why a certain decision is being made before giving the sign-off. So Arteta numerous times been able to convince. There's a sense that by seeking justifications first, it should alleviate any problems later down the line if things go wrong, be it with a player the club signed or another business decision. This has been followed with each of this summer's acquisitions. But one area that has left plenty to be desired is Arsenal's difficulties in selling players. 100%. KSC wants the club to improve in this area. There's maybe that's why Berto wants to get a couple young players. Maybe, if you progress to the first team, you do your thing. If we buy you for 10 million, you're not quite good enough. That's turned to 20, 30, 40. You can't go broke making a profit. Buy low, sell high, business 101 in it. It is what it is. Improving this area, there's a sense they have often missed the right moment to offload a player. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, let him go for free. We had the opportunity to sell him for 30. Given they want Arsenal to be self-sufficient operation, maximizing player value is paramount. Although Josh and Stan continue to have the final say, there's been a shift in recent years when it comes to Josh being the visible presence from KSE. The 45-year-old was in London to sign off on the Eze transfer and was at London Coley on the day to complete the formalities of the 27-year-old winger's deal, with a beaming Josh even posing for a picture alongside Eze and Arteta. He's become more involved, whether it's attending the Women's Champions League trophy. They said we could never be champions of Europe. Shout out the Arsenal ladies because we won silverware. They did sack their manager. Food for thought. Bit of mind game. Smash the like button. Celebrating on the pitch after they beat Barcelona and Lisbon in May, or being at the club's London Coley training base. Josh attended Arsenal's final game of the 2024-25 season in May at Southampton, where he sat alongside Arteta, who was serving a touchline ban. Before being filmed leaving the ground with Lewis, this trip coincided with further meetings about the summer. Although he would talk to players, Josh isn't overly close with them. Declan Rice and Josh share a passion for golf and will often exchange messages. Hey, Rice, get him to buy Jarrod Bowen. But squad members aren't getting texts after a good performance. Though on one occasion in 2022, after the Men's World Cup qualifying campaign, Josh sent a message to all of the Arsenal players who had qualified for the tournament. Stan is not such a frequent visitor to the Emirates. Last attended a Champions League tie against PSG in October. Clearly, Stan has said, you know what, son, go deal with that for me. If you're going to take over one day and get the deeds to my riches, you need to look after that. And I do think Josh cares a bit more, if I'm honest with you. But listen, To you lot with me, Silverware. I'm not on you. I'm on all of you lot. Which was his first trip to Arsenal at home since December 2022. Kills me. You own the club. I guess you can do what you want. Lewis is essential and trusted figure by KSC. Even though Josh and Arteta have a good relationship stemming back to when Arteta played for the club, Lewis is the conduit. I don't know that word, people. Between the club and the ownership. Josh was across the decision for Garlic to replace Vinay, who had held numerous senior roles at Arsenal, culminating in serving as chief executive between 2020 and 2024. And Arsenal had a hand in who succeeded Edu after he resigned from the sporting director position in November. He met and spoke to various candidates, which eventually led to Andrea being appointed in March. One area KSC are yet to venture into, although it's something they continue to give consideration, is a multi-club model. Yes! Yes, man. What do we keep talking about this damn platform? We need the multi-club structure. We need to start buying from emerging markets. We need to get better at selling. We need to find young players to make money. Let me not get excited because it's not said we're doing anything. Anyways, calm down. But this is what I want to see. They own the Colorado Rapids in the MLS, but have not created a network of clubs. City Football Group, for example. Oh, I might need to see club in Australia, America, Argentina, Brazil, Somalia, Jamaica, everywhere. Everywhere. Let's do this. Even Arsene Wenger used to do the Bandulu. Let's get a couple African players. Okay, you can't get a work permit. Chill off in Belgium for a sec. Let's go over here. Many years ago, Chelsea used to do that. I don't think it was official, but they used to put, didn't they have a centre back? He scored a flipping free kick against us. He couldn't get a work permit. He went PSV. I'm sure he played under Ronald Koeman. Ironically, I think he played against us in the Champions League. He might have even scored for PSV. This is the stuff, bro. At the end of the day, football is God. Are we going to get our hand dirty in an attempt to live clean, or are we going to do the kumbaya stuff? At some point, you have to liberate yourself. Any group of people in history that have liberated themselves, they fought back against the system. They, like this, even slaves, they never went, please free your slave masters. Oh my God, you know what time it is. Anyways, if MLS, you know what, whenever I see MLS here, I keep thinking of Basel. It's scary. Decide to shift its calendar from February to December to August to May, taking in line with Europe, there may be scope for further collaborations between Arsenal and Colorado Rapids, as well as the possibility of buying other clubs. When it comes to KSC's ownership of Arsenal, there is a clear dividing line between pre-2018 and post-2018 from an investment standpoint. Okay, because they became full owners. We don't need to read that. They became full owners in 2018. I don't have to like the Kroenkes to think, I fully own this now. I hate to say they own our club, but I fully own this now. Now I'm going to invest a lot more. We all know it was the Usmanov versus Kroenke thing, which didn't bang. We can skip past half of this, people. This ain't really relevant. It starts talking about, we know that there was loans being taken out the club. We know about the beefing that was going on, people. It's worth noting, however, that in each of the previous 4 financial years, Arsenal have incurred interest costs on other items, which include the KSC loans. In 2014, this payment was 7.8. It's not uncommon for Josh to take on more of a prominent role as far as KSC is concerned as a company, but not micromanaging the leadership groups at their respective clubs has become a hallmark of how KSC goes about their business. Along with Arsenal and the Colorado Rapids, their portfolio includes the LA Rams, the Denver Nuggets in the NBA, and the NHL's Colorado Avalanche. In 2014-2015 season, NBA season, Josh, who serves as the Denver Nuggets CEO and team president, was instrumental in sacking head coach Michael Malone and general manager Calvin Booth. This led to Josh being involved in day-to-day operations of the franchise for several months, essentially becoming the de facto general manager. As a consequence of Josh needing to be across the Denver Nuggets at a time of upheaval, he was unable to attend Arsenal's memorable 3-0 win over Madrid in the first leg of the Champions League quarter-final on April the 10th. Instead, he watched the game from his office in the US. Although Josh didn't do anything major in terms of player decisions during that time, sacking Malone had guided the Nuggets to their first NBA championship in 2023. So, NBA team sacked their manager one setting, the women sacked someone manager one setting. Food for thought. That's great for you lot. At the LA Rams, however, KSC's influence is much more distant. Although you will see Stan and Josh at an annual league meetings, you may catch a glimpse of them for a rare walk-through practice before a big match. They're not involved in day-to-day running. So what they're doing at the Rams is more akin to what's happening at Arsenal than the other stuff. 15 more likes, people. Yeah, and we've got 100. It is what it is. Multi-clubs, multi-relationship. GG supports it all. Chill. Gassed about my ball because it could be mad. Let me be a scout. It could be mad. We could do mad stuff. Imagine that there's a You buy a 16-year-old in Brazil, when he turns 18, he might not get a work permit. Okay, let's go place you in France. And has anybody seen Chelsea? They sold an academy player to Strasbourg and they've somehow brought him back over a couple of months. Nothing fishy going on there. And I'm not even mad at them. Hate the player or hate the game. It's up to you. The choice is yours. So yeah, man, that's all good for them, man. Like they don't feel like there's anything relevant here, man. But yeah, Kroenkes, nobody can draw you out. If I'm completely honest, it's down to the gaffer to make things happen. I was going over this with Cecil, so we can ignore all of this kind of thing. Big up Mascari, stood up to at Anfield. Surreal to see Eze in an Arsenal shirt. Madueke, great performance. Well, one of the shining lights. We tried to sell Martinelli in the summer. We were saying 60 million. Teams wanted him for 40. I hear it because we bought him for 60. We could have made a profit, sell on clause, all those kind of things. Maybe if his form, maybe we might get something. There was no way Martinelli and Trossard were getting sold unless we brought in an attacker, if I'm honest, or at least one of the two, or another left winger. In fact, you brought in Madueke, you can play there. Eze, you can play there, but you don't know if they're going to play there on a consistent basis. Shout out our new number 5, Hincapie. Negotiations for new contracts of Saka and Saliba continue. There are 2 major outstanding issues and Berta inherited and will surely be the focus in the coming weeks. Arsenal remain confident those talks will reach a successful conclusion. I'd rather hear Saliba sign one before Saka because I actually think Saka's going to sign one. The framework for Zubimendi deal was agreed before Berta joined. Had he been in this situation earlier, there were other candidates for the 6th row considered. Now I'm cool with Zubimendi. And yeah, Berta, debut season, you signed some good players. Champions League has been announced, people. I mean, we've seen this already, but it's here. Might as well read it out. Atletico away on the 16th of September. Then we return to play at home against Olympiacos. We have Atletico Madrid at home. That's going to be a smelly game. Slavia Prague away. Bayern Munich at home. We need to smash Bayern. Club Brugge away. Inter Milan away. Cara Almaty at home, people. Hopefully Dowman starts. Have you seen the new merch? This looks cold. I won't buy it though. I don't think it looks cold, but it don't look cold enough to buy, if I'm honest. I did cover this in an earlier report, people, or earlier video, but apparently Barcelona and Arsenal are closely tracking 23-year-old defender Murillo of Nottingham Forest. Unless Gabriel Magalhaes or one of the left-sided centre-half leave, I can't see us spending 70 to 80 million euros on him, who's contracted until 2029. I like him, but it looks like a bit of a myth. Some of you have spoken about wingers in January. Arsenal have been told that if they want to revisit a deal for a player Mikel Arteta closely monitored during the summer, they'll have to act quickly. The Emirates club had the biggest net spend of any club during the summer, landing all key targets that Arteta wanted, including Gyökeres and Eze. But with the long-term futures of Gabby, Martinelli and Trossard still hanging in the balance, a move for another attacking player come January should not be discounted. One man that Arsenal were known to be keeping tabs on during the summer is Malik Fofana. The Belgium has made an electric start to the season with Lyon, catching the eye with a goal against Metz as Paulo Fonseca's side have started Liga with a perfect record. The Gunners, along with Bayern Munich, Liverpool and Everton, were all closely linked with a move for Fofana in the summer. According to Corriere dello Sport, don't know, Inter Milan are lining up a January move. Inter are keen on adding a player who is an exciting dribbler. You're not the only ones to tell you that much, and can make the difference in 1v1 situations, according to the Italian source. What's going on here? 1 second, folks. We are still here. Got an alert from YouTube. What's all this about? Fair enough. Cracking on though, people. Where were we? Yeah, an exciting dribbler and can make the difference in 1v1 situations. According to the Italian source, Fofana is therefore a player they will target come January after failing to sign Ademola Lookman, who also couldn't go buying. Do you go for Lookman or Malik Fofana in January? I know we're skipping ahead. A week's a long time in football. We've only had 3 game weeks and we've had a lot to say in this stream about it. It's still, it's fresh September, but you get the point. The message to Arsenal is clear. If they want to sign him in January, they have to face a fight. But the signs for the Gunners are not all bad. Inter appear only willing to pay 20 to 25 million euros for a player with an estimated transfer value of 38.3 million. So he's set to remain. Apparently, Lyon's stance is he will not be allowed to leave in January. I mean, we know how that kind of January kind of works, even though we have seen big money additions in January. I'm sure Van Dijk was January. I'm sure Aubameyang for us was January. Well, for Chelsea, Mudryk, thank the Lord, we got Trossard. We won't make a sale like Fofana unless something extraordinary happens. We left a little bit of free budget within the framework and have the possibility of signing in Jan, so we'll see what happens. There's always financial uncertainties, like when sponsors or clubs go bankrupt and can't pay. Leon's stance, it says here, is actually advantageous for Arsenal if they really want to sign Fofana. The Gunners are unlikely to do much business in January after such a busy summer. But in a year's time, Arteta will have had the opportunity, if he's still here, to reassess his squad and particularly the wide areas where there is still scope for change in the medium to long term. What do you lot make of that? We spoke about Martinelli. Let's see what this is saying about Trossard. 22 million euros offer tabled for Arsenal attacker. Talks ongoing, 8 days to get deal done. There's a claim in the Turkish media that Besiktas are looking to sign Arsenal attacker Trossard before the Super League window closes. The Belgium international's future at the Emirates has been doubted at times in recent months, partly due to the options bought this summer. The 30-year-old has had 37 minutes so far this season, not appearing in 2 of the 3 games. Soshu report on Besiktas' pursuit of the Arsenal player as they look to add to their attack before the September 12th Turkish deadline. It's claimed the 2 clubs are currently in negotiations and the Black Eagles have tabled a 22 million euros offer. Talks are now expected to continue and an answer from the Premier League club is anticipated. Trossard was also linked with a move to Fenerbahce during the summer after claims Jose wanted to sign him, who's now left Fenerbahce. The Belgian made 56 appearances for Arsenal last season, scoring 10 goals. However, he's had limited minutes in the opening 3 Premier League games in this campaign, partly due to summer signings, and he isn't fully fit, to be fair. A recent contract renewal gave him a pay rise, although his deal wasn't extended beyond 2027. Fair play. What do you lot make of Jamie Carragher's comments? It feels like it's now or never for Mikel. It felt like the opportunity was there for them with Liverpool having a new team, looking a bit vulnerable defensively. I don't doubt this, but I don't trust Jamie Carragher because I just don't like how he speaks about Liverpool and Arsenal, actually. With what happened at Liverpool, does that sum up Mikel's mentality? I'm a massive fan of Arteta. He's done a really good job, but we're at a time where he must deliver. When I saw that team sheet come in, I knew how the game was going to play. Fair enough, I can't disagree with that. Mikel Merino with set pieces. When did we see set pieces? I think you mean Mikel Merino first and second balls. He would want to stop Liverpool and defensively make it difficult. Where's the issue there? They did. Liverpool couldn't get through them. They couldn't get any passes going. This Arsenal team reminds me of the Liverpool team I played under with Rafa Benitez and Julio. It felt at times that both managers had their handbrake a little bit, and it feels like that from Arteta, which I think the issues are like how yes, generally, but if anything with the Liverpool game, it's more the in-game management, which is something that has been prevalent and isn't anything new under Arteta, which is why I understand the frustrations. Hinkapie said, I really like Carlos Puyol. He's born on the same day as me, Puyol. He had a special way of playing, perhaps less technical than Ramos, but he was a lead and a captain, one of the best centre-backs I've seen. Fair enough. What has Paul Scholes said? I can't lie. Paul Scholes is jarring, man, but let's see. Mikel has turned Arsenal around. He's done a great job to get them where they are now, but the question is he capable of taking them to the next level? We spoke about this with Gareth Southgate in England. He did brilliant taking them to finals, but we didn't think he was capable of winning tournaments with England. Arsenal are not quite ready. It was Arsenal versus Liverpool. It was a great start to play, great chance to play your new players and make a statement. I mean, you've come out the woodwork since you beat Burnley, innit? When I first saw the Arsenal team against Liverpool, I thought that wasn't going to be a team to go to Anfield and blow them away. The key word isn't blowing them away. If we don't want to blow Liverpool away, we don't want to wow everyone. We want to wow ourselves. The main thing is the 3 points. Would rather the 3 points than blow everyone away, or if we play scintillating football, would have gave me confidence, but you'd have lost. Because then we're going to be like Man United fans. Oh my God, play so well against Arsenal. What did you get for that? Which happened to us against Liverpool to a degree. They couldn't create chances. True. They signed as a brilliant footballer, creative. Odegaard, the most creative player they've got. They bring in a centre forward, Gyökeres, but then they don't play Odegaard. We don't create, which I hear that. They had a bit of a negative mindset. I remember I had a go at Arsenal last year when they went to City and celebrated a draw. Oh, yeah. I thought going to Anfield this year and getting a draw would have been a good result. Once Liverpool scored, it's very hard to switch the mentality of going for a point, then suddenly needing to create chances and going after them. They couldn't just do it. I think both teams would have been happy for a point. Slot changed things, and the byproduct is they did well. And I don't think both teams started looking for a point. I agree with the football needs to be a bit more proactive, but this is where I think the mainstream media isolated to the Liverpool game, being very disingenuous. People. Kivior said it was difficult to say goodbye to Arsenal because I didn't know when it would actually happen. If I'd known the exact day in advance, I would have had time to prepare. In the last 3 days there, I didn't know which would truly be my last. Romano announced, here we go, and I started receiving dozens of messages and calls congratulating me. I was training, the players saw it on their phone, and they asked me why I had put on my kit if it was already closed. I refused to say goodbye there because I still didn't have the information about what might or might not happen. The next day I returned already knowing I could say goodbye. I went to the pitch to say goodbye to my teammates and the coach. They set up a farewell tunnel. It was tough. I didn't have everyone I wanted to say goodbye. I still had to make some phone calls. Best of luck, my friend, but we got incomplete. Don't care no more. Timber has said, after last season, we realized we're a bit short on numbers. So we knew it was going to be a big summer, and that's exactly what happened. It's been a while since we won the Premier League, so there's definitely pressure. That's part of being at a club like this. It was the same at Ajax. It's being talked about. You know you have a good team, so you want to win trophies. But some people in the chat say, oh my God, we can't compete. Because you know it's possible. Yeah, oh, it's possible. Oh, where's them comments earlier? It's possible, people. It's possible. Wow. Big up my players because they ain't pussy-footed from nothing. So you want to win trophies because you know it's possible. We're in a situation now where it is. I think we struggled with injuries last season and dropped points because we didn't play well. This season, we feel we can make it. We'll see. It's still early days. A lot can happen. Can't disagree, Tim Beasy. If you look at my career, I haven't had many injuries. An ACL injury, you can't do much about it. I played almost everything after the injury. Towards the end of the 24-25 season, there was something with a bone in my ankle. I couldn't help it either. I played with that. And the moment the season was over, I had surgery. Spare a thought for you, Kai Havertz, and anyone else that you've been under the knife quickly, like a couple times in recent weeks, man. So big them up. Mascara said, I understand it's a bit complicated for them, the fans. They want the home players to stay at home, but football is a bit like that. Valencia is a club that gave the opportunity to be a footballer. I'll always be grateful, and to the fans too, because they've always given me incredible support. I'm just another Valencia fan, but I ask them to understand. They have to understand. You're here now. Obviously, when you leave what has been your home, you would like things to be a little bit different, both the statement and the things that have come out. I'll never speak ill of Valencia because I'm a Valencia fan, and there's a club that has given me everything. I would have liked it to have been a little bit different, but sometimes in football, you have to look out for yourself. Facts. There will be some who understand that and others who don't. I'm at peace because whenever I wore the Valencia shirt, I gave my all. You know the vibes. I was happy in Valencia. I was happy, and I knew that if I stayed, I'd continue to be happy. But I was clear that if I ever had to leave, it wouldn't be leaving them for free. And the club that had given me everything. I wanted to make that gesture for the team. Fair play, my dog. We know, I don't need to read this to you. We all know Hincapie can bring a new dimension to Eze. Whether it's Hincapie, Eze, a fit Calafiori, that flipping left-hand side, Madueke, that left-hand side needs to be addressed. Vote for Men's Player of the Month. Who would be you lot's Player of the Month for August? I assume Magalhaes, Zubamendi, Calafiori, Timber. For me, you know what? I think Magalhaes' performances have gone under the radar this season, just like at Liverpool. I won't say Zubamendi. I feel Timber's got a shout. I'd give it Calafiori personally, but yeah, Timber, Gabriel Magalhaes, Calafiori, Zubamendi, and again, the deeper question is our defenders. We should be saying Eze and well, I'm exaggerating, but Eze, Gyökeres, etc. And Calafiori's also been nominated for August Premier League Player of the Month. Feel sorry for Lewis Kelly because this guy ain't put a foot wrong. You're gonna get opportunities, but yeah, man, he's done his thing, man. I'm happy with him. I'm really, really happy with him, man. You keep doing what you're doing. So yeah, there's nothing to say about the players anymore. How Arteta instructs the players is more under scrutiny. Can sign Prime Iniesta, but if the manager keeps bypassing the midfield, immediately I join. I like the stream. Malcolm, you're far too kind. I wish everyone behaved like yourself. One thing Arteta needs to stop is doing the favoritism thing. Have to be ruthless. If Havertz, for example, missed a chance, Eze did, he'd sun him and protect him. I hear it. But every manager's got favorites. It's just your favorites need to be the best players for the team. And your favourites this season need to be those that make us stronger of getting 3 points week in, week out. The owners have been actively backing him for many years now. We can't keep going on about the owners. The owners gave him the sum for him to buy the tools. I saw some clips from 22, 23 of Odegaard and Nelly balling out. Teta definitely cramped their game plan to the point where Nelly looks brainwashed. I swear the next club Nelly goes to will be a problem. We will, but I think for Martinelli, of the attackers, I kind of give all the other attackers, excluding Martinelli, I kind of blame Arteta a bit more. When it comes to Martinelli, I agree with you, and I think there is an element of Arteta, but for me, Nelly's different in that, like, your decision making is pony, bro. Like you've got something wrong with you, bro. You got something wrong with you. If we play like the 2022-23, we'll definitely win something. If we play like 2022-23 in the final third, the next season was good defensively. If we can marry that down, game management, we've got a good chance. I love Gabby. He's our unsung hero, but Timber's been a menace. I hear it. Timber, no question. I hear it. I have to give it Calafiori. You know, he did well against Salah. He obviously got the goal against United, and I think probably against United, he's probably the only bright spot. Leeds, yeah, I give it Calla, you know, just Timber deserves it as well, but just I can't envision us not winning trophies this season. I hope so, man. Difference is the best managers grill their favourites to push them. I ain't ever heard Arteta grill Odegaard, but as he shows up, a man wants to do the scapegoat thing. Come on now. Boy, he's going to have to pattern up. He's going to have to pattern up. Funny how they don't mention Liverpool only had 3 shots on target because it doesn't fit the narrative. And I'm not even trying to get at Liverpool. It just doesn't fit the narrative. The narrative is just drawing out Arsenal, bro. And being disingenuous. Lookman over Fofana. It's honestly not even close. How is Fofana in the conversation? Lookman or Fofana, no Rodrigo. Yeah, DG got his deal and stopped collabing with Jess. Crazy work allegedly. Oh, fuck off, man. Just don't reply to a message. What do you want me to do? Keep reading. And that goes for anyone, man. Why you no longer collab with Jess anymore, bro? You guys used to have nice shows. Well, we're always there. Jess has to, it's down to Jess. You took a month to reply. Then I reply and like, I can't, there's nothing I can do. Shout out Jess though. There's nothing I can do, my guy. Well, Trossard going. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Like, are they gonna let Trossard go? I mean, you got a decision to make, but I think that's us. If Trossard was to go in what's left of the Turkish market, then cool. Now I start to believe, you know what, January they might, but probably let him hang around, mate. They'll probably just let him hang around. They'll let him hang around, man. They'll let him hang around. Shout out SB. Big up SB, man. Rodrigo ain't leaving Madrid. He tweets it out every year, man. Do not listen. This is why initially I was on the whole, just get Eze. When it was Eze or Rodrigo, just get Eze. Eze wants to join. Rodrigo don't look like the penny dropped about leaving Madrid. Just keep it moving, man. Stay alert. You never know. A year can change things, but Rodrigo's irrelevant to Arsenal at this moment in time. Like, he's irrelevant. But man, blame me. You can't blame me, my boy. Not gonna lie, it's kind of dark when we're saying Madueke is one of our best performers. I hear that, but at the end of the day, like, we just gotta be honest. Like, against Liverpool, you was the only one that looked like something might happen. And that was long balls forward, which I am not against. Long throws, long balls, corners, but these need to be accessories. It feels like that is our remit. Now, I'm not naive enough to believe man are setting out there to do that, but it's what it appears. How many affiliates you got on your FM save? Yeah, I was talking about Alex. Luton. Hey, I got Luton, Millwall. Couple League 2 sides, League 1 side, Dutch side. About 7, 8, you know. Need to find diamonds in the rough. Amen. And shot them. Of course, I'm gassed about the multi-club. I shouldn't get gassed because there's nothing like. I saw a little article. There's no confirmation. Oh, Arsenal got this link and that link. But yeah, man. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I said allegedly chill nugs. And on that note, he's fucked out for you lot, man. We've been here for just over 90 minutes. I mean, away from Nathan being a clown, whether you're a member, a mod, a casual viewer, new here, I appreciate all of you guys. Like to think I'm trying my best to keep you lot entertained during the international break. Make sure you check out the video I did with Cecil earlier today. Turn on your notification bells because things are always going out. Whatever you said here, Stan won't find me feeders on the FM save, even though I won the league. That's why you need the editor, lad. That's why you need the editor. But yeah, on that note, people, you know videos always going to come out. So yeah, turn on your notification bells. Follow on all the social platforms. Links in the descriptions. Press the hype button as well, man, so we can... We're at 70,000. We've done well, DG Nation. Now we need to trust the process. But yeah, most importantly, you and your loved ones, stay blessed, stay safe. Appreciate you lot, because if you lot are not here, it's dead. One love. He always just like